the past, our albums have definitely been more guitar-driven rock, and we definitely don't want to leave the rock arena. A variety of emotions can be displayed through rock, from desperation to anger to love, pretty much any emotion that you want, you can say with rock. So we're taking that with us, but as far as the guitar is concerned, we don't want it to be as much guitar-driven as much as we do instrument-driven this time around. So what we're really going for is like an equal amount of bass and an equal amount of guitar and an equal amount of drums, and then whatever other instrument that we happen to use for that song, be it piano or harmonica or even a kazoo in one song. We really want every instrument on the record to complement each other, much like peanut butter complements jelly. That's just the way that we want it. Much like the Harry Potter series just wouldn't be the same without one book. I mean, if you took out one book, the whole series just wouldn't make sense. I mean, especially if we're talking about the movies, and you took out like 7 Part 1, then it just jumped from Harry Potter 6 to Harry Potter 7 Part 2, and that would be insanity. I'm trying to get the perfect guitar sound right now. We have the song pretty much structured out, but as far as like the general sound of the atmosphere, we don't really have that tweaked out yet. So that's what I'm doing right now. Sometimes when you're playing guitar, in order to really get the feeling for what the song needs to sound like, you need to just stand up and play it like you plan on playing it live. That way you get the feeling, the general feeling that you're going for. Tales of a Nothing Relationship That Went Wrong. It's a breakup record, just like you would expect it to be. And musically, it's going to have a lot of signature guitar parts that you would expect in a breakup album, but we're also going to expound upon that. We're sort of using what you would expect as the diving board, and we're going to expound out of that, going into the realms of space and different universes, going into the past while going into the future at the same time. We're exploring things that can be explained and paradoxes. We're all within our no input sound. We're really going to raise the bar on what has been done with the sounds of guitars and other instruments, but mostly, well, not mostly guitars, but with music in general. Let It Hurt, take 1. We're really stretching the boundaries of what has been done with music so far. This is the next step in musical evolution, musically, definitely. So that's what you can expect on Tales of a Nothing Relationship That Went Wrong.
For this album, we wanted to do something completely different with the drums that we haven't done on a no-input record before. We wanted to be a lot more organic drums and percussion. We wanted to have echoey drums that we haven't done before. Taking a lot more time and putting a lot more serious thought into drums overall. We have 2 different rooms that we're recording drums in. One is a standard studio room, and the other is it's actually a large warehouse room that we have sound panels covering most of the walls, and that's just going to give it a whole, like, I don't know how to describe it other than end of the world feel. It's just going to revolutionize anything you've ever heard before. It's not going to be alternative music, it's not rock music, it's not hardcore, it's not metal, it's not R&B. It's going to be something completely unique and all its own, and I know that everybody is going to look forward to it.
Good.
I think that's a wrap for today. Most of the drums are recorded in this room with the sound panels, and it's going to give it an earthy tone, a lot more organic, and what this room with the high ceilings, what that's going to do is it's going to give it like an echoey sound, and that's one of the reasons why it sounds so organic, and one of the other reasons is the mixing and the way the bass parts are played with the drums, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll sound really, really good. I was actually really impressed with just the drum part that I heard. The whole organicness of it is really it's a very natural sound. I know that's kind of weird.
That's a good way to say it.
You know, it doesn't sound like, you know, there's a lot done to it for it to a lot of recorded. You know, it doesn't sound like it's been recorded. It sounds like
altered. It's very
exactly.
Very much. It's in its natural form.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's going to really, really just complement what we're trying to do with this record.
Right.
I think it'll do.
It's going to set an entire tone. It's going to have its own unique tone for the whole record.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
On this record, vocally, you can prepare yourself for screams, for soft cooing. Let your eyes blink, let your eyes open wide, let the sun come out, let the sunrise, sit yourself up. For angsty singing. When all is said and done, when you have nothing left to say, I'll take everything I've learned and then I'll throw it all away. Thanks, Mom and Dad, teachers and pastors. Everything you've taught me's turned into a disaster. And for love-filled ballads. Vocally, this is definitely my most diverse work yet. Time magazine named me Person of the Year, and in their article about me, they said that my voice was as soothing as milk and honey on the ears. Now, they were talking about my voice from previous albums that we've made, so I've really used that as the standard for what I am to do vocally, and I fully intend on raising that standard to something bigger and better than I have ever done before. So while that may have been milk and honey, this will be better.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Whoa! 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 With our new album, I really wanted to take the bass in a whole new direction. I wanted to start songs with the bass, like, you know, normally when people record, they kind of like let the bass just sit in the background and stuff, and I didn't want to do that with this. I wanted the bass to be more dominant than a lot of other things, you know. Hey, I can't hear it. Yeah, I need it up. We were explaining one of the songs, one of my ideas to our sound engineer, and he wasn't getting it at all. Like I sat there for like 20 minutes arguing with him, like trying to get him to understand what I was trying to do, and finally we hit it on the head, and he was just amazed that it was a totally new sound, like nothing anyone had ever done before, and it was really cool kind of to get to see that happen. Even though a lot of people don't see like the big picture, they don't see like how much goes into the bass, and you know, when we do the song, all they hear is, wow, that sounds really good. Even though like there's a lot of time and effort that goes into like just my part of doing the bass, like there was a lot of perfecting into that, and you know, some of it may go wasted, but I really hope people kind of get to recognize how key the bass is in our songs.
The piano is a really versatile instrument because it can be used for any genre of music. It can be used in rock music, it can be used in classical, it could be used in ballads, it could be used in country, it could be used in Latin. When we recorded the Christmas record in Africa, we actually used a piano in that record. So it just made sense to put piano on this record. So we went about looking for the perfect piano, and well, Ben Folds gave us this one, so that's all I have to say about that.
What a lot of people don't know is after we do a lot of our bass part is, what we'll actually do is we'll go back and we will do a lot of almost like cello parts, and I'm just working on that right now, you know, getting that ready so we can integrate it with the bass.
It gives it a darker, ominous feeling, and just like a more sad tone to the song. And that's one of the best things that Sam does, is he makes the song sound more real, that you can identify with it. And it's just so sad, and you can just listen to the lyrics and it can pull at your heartstrings, but those lyrics won't do anything if you didn't hear the power of the music that we're writing.
Right now we are recording for Drew, doing the keyboards, and it's pretty impressive. You should check it out.
I was really excited about this record because before we talked as a band really about finances and where we were going to do Tales of a Nothing Relationship That Went Wrong, the sound engineer, one of the sound engineers that we're currently working with now, approached me and he said, Sean, we're really excited about this record and we're going to do new things, and specifically it's percussion that we haven't focused on in previous albums. There have been drum tracks, we've done multiple drum tracks on top of each other, and they've turned out really good. But for this album, we wanted something completely different. So we have a room specifically for percussion. We have bongos, tambourines, we have timbales, we have just about anything that you can think of. We have maracas. And one of the things that the sound engineer approached me about is he really wanted a more mature feeling for the drums, so it's not going to be a 3 to 3.5 minute track just straight through of drums, starting big, ending big. No, we're going to do a lot of different stuff. We're going to be hand clapping. We're not going to overdub it. We're not going to be layering it on top of each other. We're going to be actually in the studio with 12 to 24 people clapping at a time. Sometimes we're going to just have us 3 clapping to start off with. And then we're just going to have it continue to grow and add in a few more people every time. For one song specifically, that's probably going to be the last track on the CD, we're actually going to be recording stomping on the floor, literally stomping our feet on the floor to give it that extra push, and it's going to keep the tempo flowing. I think that's pretty cool.
Maybe play that one. No, something about that's wrong.
What,
That just sounds kind of tinny and too confined. Sometimes when I'm really struggling with writer's block, when any of us are struggling with writer's block, what we do is we go in the corner and we put on the thinking cap to try and rejuvenate some of those creative juices that no one is so famous for.
So today we should be wrapping up recording the drums, and I think that means tomorrow we're going to start bass.
yeah, tomorrow we'll start the bass. We still have a little bit more tweaking to do to it, but I think people are really going to be impressed with it. As far as how they complement each other is pretty cool. I'm really excited to see how it turns out because to what I know, there's not very much of anything like this. It'll really be kind of a groundbreaking thing, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out. Dirk, where's Minesweeper? I want to play some Minesweeper.